Hello, knowledge seekers, and welcome back to Timeless Knowledge Discoveries. I'm your host, Noah Lobby. Imagine standing on a structure so vast, so immense, that for decades people claimed you could see it from the moon with the naked eye. We're talking, of course, about the Great Wall of China. But what if I told you that much of what we think we know about this colossal wonder is, well, not quite right? Is it truly one continuous wall? Was it really built all at once? And could astronauts actually spot it from space? Today, we're peeling back the layers of myth, legend, and centuries of history to uncover the real story behind the Great Wall of China. Forget the simple postcard image. We're diving deep into a tale of emperors, dynasties, nomadic invaders, incredible engineering, and immense human effort that stretches across thousands of years. Get ready to have your perspective shifted. All right, let's tackle the biggest misconception right away. When we say the Great Wall of China, we often picture a single, unified structure snaking across the landscape. But the reality? It's not one wall. Think of it more like a system of fortifications, built, rebuilt, abandoned, and extended by different dynasties over 2 millennia. Imagine patching up a fence in your backyard. Maybe you add a section one year, replace some planks another, extend it a bit later. Now, scale that up massively, across vast terrains, mountains, deserts, grasslands, and stretch that time frame over 2,000 years. That's closer to the truth of the Great Wall. Different sections were built using different materials: rammed earth, wood, stones, and later, the iconic bricks and mortar we often associate with the Ming Dynasty portions. Some parts run parallel, some overlap, and huge sections built by earlier dynasties have long since eroded or disappeared, reclaimed by nature. The idea of a single, continuous, Great Wall is more of a concept that unites these various defensive projects under one grand name. The total length, considering all its branches built over millennia. Recent surveys suggest over 21,196 kilometers, or 13,171 miles. That's more than half the Earth's circumference. So, where did this monumental idea begin? For the first large-scale project often linked to the Great Wall concept, we need to travel back to the 3rd century BC, to the reign of Qin Shi Huang, pronounced Qin Shi Huang. You might know him as the first emperor of a unified China, the man famous for the terracotta army. After conquering warring states and forging an empire, Qin Shi Huang faced a significant threat from the north, nomadic horsemen, particularly the Xiongnu, pronounced Xiangnu. To defend his newly unified territory, he ordered the connection and extension of existing defensive walls built by the former states. This wasn't the fancy brick wall we see in photos today. The Qin Wall was primarily built using rammed earth, pounding layers of soil and gravel within wooden frames until they became incredibly hard and dense. Imagine the sheer manpower required. Hundreds of thousands, possibly millions, of workers, soldiers, peasants, convicts were conscripted for this colossal task. Conditions were brutal. The terrain was harsh, the labor backbreaking, and many perished during construction. This immense human cost led to the wall being sometimes referred to historically as the longest cemetery on Earth. While maybe not literally built on bodies, the sentiment reflects the incredible sacrifice involved. This early wall established the idea of a northern defensive line, a precedent that future dynasties would follow, adapt, and massively expand upon. But the story doesn't stop with the Qin dynasty. After its collapse, the subsequent Han dynasty, around 206 BC to 220 AD, also invested heavily in the wall system. They extended it further west, into the Gobi Desert, not just for defense, but also to protect the vital Silk Road trade routes. They pioneered the use of watchtowers, allowing for better communication and surveillance. Signal fires could relay messages across vast distances remarkably quickly. Think about that, a sophisticated communication network over 2,000 years ago. A message could travel hundreds of miles in just a few hours, warning of enemy movements. However, wall building wasn't a constant effort. Some dynasties, like the Tang, 7th to 10th centuries AD, were powerful enough through military might and diplomacy that they didn't focus heavily on static defenses like the wall. Other shorter-lived dynasties or periods of division saw sections fall into disrepair. The wall's fortunes waxed and waned with the power and priorities of whoever ruled China. It wasn't a continuous, uninterrupted construction project from Qin to modern times. There were significant gaps and periods of neglect. Now, let's jump forward significantly to the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644 AD. This is the era responsible for the most iconic and well-preserved sections of the Great Wall that tourists flock to today, places like Badaling and Muxianyu near Beijing. Why the renewed focus? After overthrowing the Mongol Yuan dynasty, the Ming emperors were acutely aware of the lingering threat from the north, particularly from various Mongol and Manchu groups. They undertook a massive building and reinforcement program, constructing what we often consider the Great Wall. This is where the engineering truly shines. The Ming Wall incorporated sophisticated features. Materials. They used quartz stone and locally produced kiln-fired bricks, often held together with a surprisingly strong mortar made from sticky rice flour and slaked lime. Watchtowers. Densely packed, often within sight of each other, serving as lookout posts, command centers, and living quarters for soldiers. Fortresses and barracks, built at key passes and strategic points. Battlements and crenellations, providing protection for archers and defenders. The scale of the Ming construction was staggering. It represented a massive investment in national defense. This wasn't just a simple barrier. It was a complex military system designed to slow down invaders, channel them into specific areas where they could be confronted, and provide early warning. It was a statement of Ming power and determination to define and defend their territory. While defense was clearly a primary driver, especially during the Qin and Ming periods, the Great Wall system served other purposes too. 1. Border control. It helped regulate movement, preventing unauthorized crossings and allowing authorities to tax goods traveling along routes like the Silk Road. Think of it like ancient customs checkpoints. 2. Communication highway. As mentioned, the watchtowers formed a rapid communication network using smoke signals by day and fire by night. 3. Transportation. In some flatter sections, the top of the wall itself could serve as a roadway, facilitating the movement of troops and supplies across difficult terrain. 4. Psychological symbol. Perhaps most importantly, the wall became a powerful symbol. It demarcated the boundary between the perceived, civilized, agricultural society of China and the barbarian, nomadic cultures to the north. It represented order versus chaos, settlement versus steppe. It became ingrained in the Chinese identity, a symbol of endurance, perseverance, and the sheer scale of human ambition. It wasn't always successful militarily. Invaders like the Mongols and later the Manchus, who founded the Qing dynasty, eventually breached or bypassed it. But its symbolic power endured. Okay, let's tackle some quick-fire facts and that lingering space question. Visible from space. Nope. This is a persistent myth, likely originating in the early 20th century. Astronauts, including China's own Yang Liwei, have confirmed you cannot see the Great Wall from the Moon with the naked eye. From low Earth orbit, it's extremely difficult to spot, perhaps visible under perfect conditions, but far less conspicuous than highways or airports. Think of it this way, it's long, but it's relatively narrow. How long is it? As we said, counting all branches across all dynasties, the official figure is 21,196.18 kilometers, 13,171.71 miles. The Ming Dynasty sections alone make up about 8,850 kilometers, 5,500 miles. Is it all standing? Sadly, no. Large portions of the wall, especially the older rammed earth sections, have eroded significantly or been destroyed by human activity, like construction or farming. Estimates suggest perhaps only 20 to 30% of the total length across all dynasties remains, with maybe less than 10% being well preserved. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Recognizing its immense historical and cultural significance, the Great Wall was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987. Modern use. Today, while its military function is long gone, the Great Wall is one of the world's most potent tourist attractions and a powerful symbol of China's past and its enduring spirit. Restoration efforts focus on preserving key sections for future generations. So, the Great Wall of China isn't just one wall, but a sprawling, multi-generational testament to human endeavor, fear, ambition, and ingenuity. It wasn't built in a single lifetime, but layer upon layer, dynasty by dynasty, responding to the threats and needs of the time. From the rammed earth barriers of the first emperor, designed to keep out nomadic horsemen, to the sophisticated brick and stone fortifications of the Ming, protecting a vast empire, the wall tells a story etched across the landscape. It speaks of the immense power of centralized states to mobilize resources, the incredible human cost often involved in grand projects, and the enduring need for security and definition. The Great Wall reminds us that history is complex, layered, and often quite different from the simplified stories we first hear. It challenges us to look deeper, to question assumptions, and to appreciate the sheer scale of time and human effort that shapes our world. It's not just stone and earth, it's an echo of countless lives, ambitions, and struggles, stretching across millennia. What are your thoughts on the Great Wall? Were you surprised by any of these facts? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing from our community of knowledge seekers. If you found this journey through history insightful, please give this video a like, it really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Timeless Knowledge Discoveries and click that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the fascinating corners of our past. Thanks for joining me, Noah Lobby, on Timeless Knowledge Discoveries. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.